Hi all, welcome to another Chess24 Banter Blitz. It's Sunday, it's 12:30 PM. Okay, I'm just going to mute over here and pick up the first challenge. I'm hoping the preview is going to show up soon. Yep. Seems I've got one of my new t-shirts. I got a whole set of new t-shirts recently. I hope you like it. Fenneman, hi there. I had a haircut this week as well, you might have noticed. Okay. Knight g5, we have d5, that classic gambit. I'll stop knight g5 now. I don't know if that's a move actually. It just occurred to me. I can try and play a King's Indian style position with g6 now. Trying for a bit of opening comfort in my first game, territory I'm familiar with. A little bit, knight h5 to f4 looks like the plan, because if ever white takes on f4 I can open up this bishop. g3 is a little bit more tricky to play here because of knight takes h3, so I'm welcoming that, I think, because I can play g5, h5, g4, and it's a bit of a squish on the dark squares coming up, I hope. Although the downside, I'm weakening the light squares, but that's a bit of a trade-off there. I'm just banking that my opponent is not going to be able to exploit the light squares that easily here. So I'm going to try and squish with g4. Okay, it seems fun so far. I'm covering knight g5. I can just take. Oh, hold on a sec. Oh. That's a bit unfortunate. Hello? I'm just in this. Yeah, I'm just in the stream. What's up? What? Okay. Sorry. Yes. What? I don't know. I don't. Can we talk about it later? Is it possible to talk about it later? Okay. Sorry. I'm just in the middle of something. Sorry. Okay. Thanks. Okay. Yeah, I'll try and make it clearer doing these streams. Okay, that doesn't usually happen. Okay. Okay, now, queen here, he hasn't got a dark square bishop to win my queen just yet. Well, he's unlikely to get a dark square bishop unless he under-promotes later a dark square bishop, which, okay, I guess is possible, but not very likely. So anyway, coming back to earth, f5, there's a possibility of knight d4. Let's get this out of here. f5, f5, I believe f5 is okay. If we try and work out something concrete here, e takes, bishop takes, bishop. Anytime the knight moves, there's queen h2. In fact, I might be threatening knight d4 and bishop d4 here, because if knight takes, then there's queen h2. So just trying to distract that knight. With knight takes d4 seems like a good tactical idea. Alternatively, rook h5 looks strong as well. Knight d4, queen f5, there's knight e2 mate. cd, bishop d4, knight d4, queen h2 is mate. This actually protects the rook as well, so I think it's all pretty good stuff. The one possibility is rook f2. I think probably simplest is just rook h5 actually. I don't think there's any major defense to rook h5. Yeah, I think I'll go with that. Just want to play rook h1. rook h1. But there's also queen e3, funny enough. I'm covering now the h1, so queen e3 and rook h1. Rook f2, queen f2. Knight e4, rook h1. Knight h4 delays things, rook h4. I don't think there's any checks for white. So I think this looks like a goner for white, this particular position. Alright, thanks for the game, Fenneman. Okay. Killardy. It's a 3-minute game. Wasn't that fun? A bit faster. They're a bit shallower, the 3-minute games. I was doing them on my Kingscrusher channel for a bit, but people started complaining. Bring back the 5-minute. I mean, they are a bit shallower than 5-minute. It's remarkably so, I think. I mean, surprisingly so, as in shallower tactics, shallower ideas, shallower endings. Well, endings don't exist that much, but anyway, it's a bit of fun. This hybrid between bullet and 5-minute chess. I think pre-moving is more important in this style of chess. I'm worried about g5 here because I'm concerned what his plans are for this bishop if it's going to retreat back. My knight hasn't got any square there. I need to give it a square. Just taking away a square, yeah. Knight h4 is... can I play knight h4? Try and weaken d4 a bit. Right, I'll try and weaken d4. Okay, I think probably this is a good strategic exchange if I could have exchanged the bishops there. I'm not sure about queen a5, it just popped into my head, as things do. Alright, it's pretty quick, so I'm going to try and get in some pre-moves actually, if I can, at some point pretty soon. This is a bit of a trap. I think I can take and then take on d5, I think. Knight e4. There's bishop d5 on his queen. Okay. Let's go back here, protecting d5 at least. What about knight f5 is on d4? Try and get him to protect d4. I think there's not enough to support. Okay. Let's stop knight c5. Trying for the c file. Queen c4 threatens to win a piece. Bishop f8. Can I take that? Can I pin that? Sort of. I've got the two passed pawns over here. I wonder if it's possible to just transition this endgame. Well, there's knight d4 as well. Maybe knight d4 is possible. You can take it here. Alright, thanks for the game, Claudia. Fast and Furious, that one, huh? Olaf, Olaf 146. I don't know what the significance of 146 is. I wonder. I mean, he might say on later or something. The secrets behind the nicknames. This, I'm trying to probably encourage the closing of the centre. Don't really want to take on f3. Weaken all my light squares. give the opponent the bishop pair, weaken e6 later. It's not a good idea generally in the King's Engine to lose the light square bishop. I'll put it back all the way here because job done, close the centre. I can play for f5 without, okay, I'll stop knight b5 or bishop b5 check. I'm wondering if I can risk playing for f5. No, probably not. It looks a bit shaky. He's got quite an accelerated queenside attack. Just instinctively I'm thinking, I better not play h6 and f5, it seems. I can delay that plan with knight h5 and f5 later. So already this is getting tricky now. What does he want with me there? Does he want to test the repetition? Queen b3, bishop c8, queen a4. Oh my word. He's on d6. That's nasty. That is truly nasty. I don't want to lose b7 or d6. Can I just kick that away from out? I'd rather lose b7 actually. If I'm going to lose something, b7. Alright, now I can play knight. Can I? I'm hoping, without losing b7. If C, this is awkward. This is really awkward. This is not like the King's Engine. This needs to be handled on its own merits, this position. I'm wondering, can I play CD and live to tell the tale? Knight b5. Okay, get to castle. I think it's not that bad. In fact, it's cat and mouse there. Tom and Jerry attacking, defending, attacking, defending. Okay. Can I play? I don't think rook a6 is a good idea. I'll just get on with things over here for a moment. Now there's knight c7's rook a6. As long as I don't commit to f5, then not weakening e6, because this knight could easily bounce into e6 via c7. That's a classic King's Engine disaster spot sometimes after the infiltration on c7, this e6. That's why you've got to like sometimes keep the light square bishop on. Now here with that is dark square bishop, I've actually got queen b6. I don't think there's anything too destructive after knight c7. In fact, b2 might be hanging. This is okay for my play rook a6 now to hold d6. One is doubling bishop d7 or rook b6. Threatens nothing. Maybe bishop f3. Because if bishop f3, rook b5. So at the moment, I can retreat back to d7. Oh, there's queen. I've just given him queen a5 on a plate. Oh, that's nice. I've just given him queen a5. Just about playing this for rook b2. Bishop's holding c8. So I'm wondering rook b2. Still with some ideas of bishop f3 and rook b5 if the queen wasn't clinging on to b5. Let's see. So rook b2, surely he has to address rook b2. No. Knight e7, is that the disaster area? Knight a7? Knight e7 might threaten knight c6. If knight c6, queen c7. If queen b7 though, yeah, queen b7's a snag. Bishop f3. Knight f3, rook b2, not rook b2. Is knight a7 plausible? Let's run that through again. Queen b7, bishop takes f3, bishop takes f3, bishop d4. So knight takes, I can't take on b2. Well, I can with my bishop. b6, that's a disaster to knight c6. Okay. Knight e7, I'm just dropping b7. Rook a7 by elimination. Maybe rook a7. Oh, I like the rook on b2. Okay. Okay. No panic. h6 then. I'm just letting b7 drop for nothing. All of a sudden. Why was that a good idea? Maybe it is a difficult position. Do I play knight a7? Maybe knight a7. Then he's got knight c6 after. Let's protect that for a moment. We'll make it as though there might be some. Alright. What's the key thing here? Try and get out of his pressure, I think. Queen b6. Can I play queen b6? Maybe there's knight a4 after. Rook c6, knight a4. Gonna take this file. Protect c6. Protect f8. I mean e7. Alright, so I can get behind this pawn. Put some pressure there. There's bishop b2, maybe too annoying. I don't think it really does much. What about g5 for a moment? Hang on, I've got to move my rook. He stepped up there. Let's try and stay awake to his threats. Look at what he's threatening. Maybe knight d3. Can I take on rook b1? I don't know where his knight's heading for after. Maybe rook d2 threatening knight c4 for rook d3. He's not really playing e5, is he? Yeah, I think he missed the threat. Okay. Threatening double checkmate here. The threat double checkmate. Thanks for the game, Olaf. Okay, that was pretty uncomfortable, I've got to say. For me, that was pretty uncomfortable. I didn't really like very good moves by him in the opening, those finesses with the queen. I was struggling to find stuff to do. I'm pretty glad I didn't play f5 at any point. I think f5 would have seriously given him more targets without any promise of actually me getting any sort of attack. I think in that situation, if white's got already an infiltration, I don't know, you're going to just try and make use of the squares they've given you, I think, rather than creating new weaknesses elsewhere that I think they're just going to be tapped into. If I'd played f5 later, that always seemed too slow. Can I play the cautionary gambit? So this is where you give up d4 later, because the knights are not usually like this in the terrace. They're usually on e2 and f3. So this is saying to black you can win d4, which he doesn't, and I'm wondering why. Maybe I will enjoy my little pawn center there now. Knight g5, f3, queen h5, king d8, or bishop e3. I've had this with black recently. In fact, I think there's a disaster games on my Kingscrusher channel just this morning where I played f6 in the French. So my opponent played this for, yeah, so I'm playing like how my opponent did against me. Because I think sometimes f6 early like this, it doesn't do black too many favours. There's some weaknesses on this diagonal and this diagonal. If he's not going to be able to play f takes e5, on the other hand, well, queen c2, there's knight b4. Queen b1, on the other hand, might force him to close with f5. Because g6, there might be bishop g6, queen g6. It looks dangerous. Bishop h6, rook g8. Let's have a look there. There's a possibility of the rook switching, but he's got a3 covered. Let's have a look at this bishop h6 position. Rook g8, queen h5. What am I threatening there? It looks too tempting to pass off, actually, just in principle. It's a bishop for 2 pawns. Okay, it might not be sound. There might be a third pawn picked up if e6 drops later, with something like f takes opening up this rank to e6. So let's imagine hg, queen g6, king h8. He's not even accepting it. Oh right, he's not even accepting it. Okay, that's giving me some stuff for free. The bishop, I think, is safe enough. There's no knight f6 immediately. There's that pawn wedge. I guess g4 might be interesting. f4, bishop d2. d4 isn't dropping immediately. If I can wrench open the g file, I think that would be a good idea. If fg, bishop g4, the f3 is not an issue. I don't think there's any h5. I'm still holding f3, so I think g4 is a wrenching move here. Try and wrench open that g file. f4, bishop d2. Not even d4 is dropping there. Okay, I guess a4 is trying to cause my central collapse. g4, knight d2, f4. That's a bit funny. So if I just let's try and do this. Knight c1 to e2, where I'm holding d4, knight e2 to f4, hits e6. This looks like a solid way of playing it to maintain the pawn duo and use that f4 square without any g5. So knight e2 to f4 with the possibility of g4 later. Okay, stopping f4 anyway. That bishop seems as though it could be exploited theoretically. Maybe if I allow queen e8 to g6 later, that's a downside of g4 because it takes this queen e8. I'm stopping queen e8 at the moment. Can I just prepare g4? Just slowly. So while queen e8 is stopped, what about rook g1, g4, king h8? Let's have a look at that position. I'm actually threatening knight e6 here anyway. Rook g1, king h8. But he's got to do something about e6. That's awkward here, in fact. I think I've underestimated my own knight maneuver. It's a lot of pressure on e6 here. How does he resolve e6? It doesn't. That seems desperate. That seems as though it's losing the exchange. I don't believe that move. d5 is weak here. f5 is weak. c6 is dropping. Thanks very much, Clinker. Azure missed. Okay, let's see. Azure missed. Hi there. Play this. I think it's good enough for Blitz, at least. It's a sort of template plan, just this fianchetto, but he's altered my stuff with this central play, quick central play. So I'm probably less likely, well, I can play this, and I am once played this in over the boards club game. It looks peculiar, as though g6 was with the intention of bishop g7. I was confused by it when I was playing white against this sort of thing. But what it doesn't do is weaken this diagonal. I have left some holes here, but it hasn't weakened the diagonal. So that's one perk of this particular method, bishop e7. But I lose that fianchetto. Maybe f6 is a useful move anyway. It depends. He can sort of exchange off the light square bishops at leisure if I play f6. Here I've got knight e5. Do I worry about knight e6? There's queen h3 on the cards. Or not at the moment. Probably knight e5 at the moment. But I keep the light square bishop. Maybe I should. So knight e5, he has to hold on to the bishop. Alright, there's also knight b4 as a forcing move. But even if I had queen e8, you could take on d7, hitting my queen. If I play f5, yeah, the light squares are just very bad. Can I play this in king g7? Just with the idea that f5 I think is ruled out at the moment. You can't easily exploit the dark squares. Yeah, okay. If I do this, any e5 I'd like that to get the f5 square. Any f5 I think I can take at the moment. Can I just get rid of his light square bishop or kick it away? Bishop c6. Would he have b4, knight b7? f5. f5 around here, is that a disaster? What if I took and then f5, e5, d5? Yeah, if I took this guy off, it strengthens me for f5, e5, d5, e6, bishop e8. But I just want to play this, I think, with the idea of d5. Am I getting stuff there? It's possible. Right, the idea I had was d5 here, but that doesn't look too clever, I gotta say. It's got e6 and knight e5 coming. Oh well. Maybe e6, bishop e8 is not entirely... if he's using up that square, could have been worse, maybe, with a knight coming to e6. There's queen d4, king h7. There's no c5. This looks as I'm positioning worse, much worse at the moment, unfortunately. But the psychology can't be like that in a game. I think, even though I might be worse, I just want to just keep looking for downsides of the opponent's position. Even though it's passive at the moment. So what are potential downsides? One is, maybe queen e6, rook c1, c5. If I can liberate with c5, e6 is slightly vulnerable sometimes. Maybe he retreats the knight, lets me play rook c1, c5. Any d4, cd, c4. I don't suppose knight c6 is worth playing. Is it? a5? Has he got knight d7? Knight d7 looks a bit nasty. Maybe I should exchange off one of these bishops, one of these knights, before knight d7. If e7, rook e8, queen f6, it's starting to look as though... No, maybe there's rook f7. The bishop covers the queening square. So let's have a quick look. Knight c6, bishop c6. I can handle knight e7 now. If I can use this other rook, this pawn could be a potential vulnerability. If I can blockade it with rook e7, double that there's queen f6 there. Right, I can play rook f7 here. Knight e6 threatens mate on g7 otherwise. So I think I'll try and use this. Really just trap my queen. I'm going to say that's a little bit unfortunate. But I can double the rooks here and still look for downside to the opponent's position. But it's a little unfortunate, I got to say. His knight's pinned. Is he immediately blundering here? Knight g5. It's equaling the score a bit on the pieces after hg. He's got a back row issue there. Rook and bishop might be more palatable if he has knight g5 for rook e7. It doesn't matter what the position is, you still look for downsides. Doesn't matter if you blundered your queen, you still look for downsides basically. Otherwise you're just a victim in chess basically. That's the way it is. If you want to be a victim, then just give up. But okay, if you don't want to be a victim, you just carry on fighting, especially in blitz. So knight g5 hg, rook e7 threatens mate. The rook and bishop here is okay. I think that's reasonable chances here. I could be wrong. There's nothing hanging immediately except for the f8 square, if you can call that hanging. I can get to protect my rook with the king. Right, he wants to give me a pawn, otherwise he'll get a pass pawn. I'd rather take that. Can I play rook f6? Okay, he's going to have an infiltration. You know what the snag with this is? I think the snag is maybe g2. If he ever moves his queen, I've got d4 for g2. Okay, he's got queen c7. I think I can shuffle my king to h7, have the rook on g7 here. Okay, let's try and open up this. Maybe close h5 down with h5 myself. Oh, hang on. Let's make sure. Okay. That was a bit of a... Yeah, let's try for more there. Yes. Okay, I was getting killed objectively. I was getting killed, and he has beaten me 3 times before, so very dangerous. Well played. Very dangerous. Kingscrusher. Okay, Kingscrusher. So what's this nonsense with knight a3 to c2? What's this nonsense about? Really? I'll let him take on d5 here, or play c5. Queen d6. I'm having a nice reverse French defense to here. I like playing reverse French with white, but this doesn't seem that bad with black here. In particular, if he ever castled, which I doubt he's going to castle kingside, I could probably reroute the bishop to this diagonal here. Probably strategically, this is the bad bishop. I try and exchange off this guy with bishop on a6 later. Can I play to get rid of one pair? That'll stop castling queenside if AB. Okay, so I think my strategic plan, there's two strategic plans I see. One to exchange off the bishops, and two for f5, f4 under the right circumstances. I can try and do both. So this makes way for bishop c8 to a6, as well as supports f5, f4. Maybe knight e6 supports f5, f4. Probably this diagonal, in theory, it's a liability, but I don't see in practice here. Okay, maybe queen here. So f5, f4. If whoever plays g3, the light squares are creaking even more, which would emphasize getting rid of the light square bishop. And his queen's checkmated here after bishop d8. Isn't it? My knight's holding the bishop. Checkmate to the queen. Okay, I'll play for f4 as though nothing's happened, and carry on with this strategic bishop exchange as if nothing's happened. How would I get that? Alright, so b6 and bishop a6 to weaken all of these squares, all of these squares. Okay. Bishop's good on this diagonal anyway. Bishop d3, knight e6, and then start playing for f4 with g6, h6, g5, and then f4. So this is like playing against the French defence in reverse, where f4 is trying to break down white's pawn chain. Of course, it helps to be a queen up in general as well. There's also queen b4 here. It looks as though that's almost winning a piece. Queen b4, bishop d2, queen a3. Yeah, it looks as if it's winning a piece. Something's giving here on the weakness of the last move. Bishop d2, queen a3, or queen b3, knight d2. Oh, knight d2 is possible. Okay. Game on, I guess. Can I take on e2? As mentioned, weakening light squares. I can take on c5. Get a knight to d3, octopus knight. There's almost bishop b2 dangerous. Let's play this check and knight d3 just to rule out any bishop b2 nasty surprise. Knight d4, queen b6. Right, so bishop b2. There's also knight f2 threatened now. Go back on this sensitive diagonal. But also f4, I mean, achieve the strategic dreams. A queen up. So f3 or f takes, and then rook f2. This looks almost... Queen a5 hits d2 and a3 here. So without any bishop b2, his idea of rook g1 and mating seems a far cry. Bishop c1, I take that off and then take on d2. Thanks for the game, Kingscrusher. Pesho. Hi, Pesho. Now, yeah, the position here is okay, emerging for what to do. Let's see what are the imbalances straight after the opening, as Silman would say. If I play d5, he can get a light square grip, get a blockade square on c5. On the other hand, I'm wrenching out that f5 square for use. If the e4 pawn takes, I have that f5 square for knight f5, threatening immediately d4 there. Okay, so bishop h6 here, or f6 might be interesting. Okay, that looks like a mistake. I'll just take that. It's backed up by the bishop. Bishop c5 is needed here. Bishop e3 does d4. Bishop c5 is needed. Unpin for knight f5. Actually, there might have been a tactic with knight d5 and queen d5 there. It's gone now. I mean, even whatever the theoretical possibility. So queen d7, knight h4, bishop h3 looks to crash through to the king. Queen d7, knight h4, bishop h3. Do I worry about maybe queen g5 as a nuisance? So if I play this first. Now, if he plays bishop e3, I guess that's okay, mildly annoying. Alright, so bishop h3 is coming up here. Bishop h3. If takes, queen h3 threatens mate on g2, which I don't think there's any defense there. Yeah, let's imagine king h2. Alright, he's in on the knight. That's a good move. It seems. I can still play knight g2 with a lot of pawns though. After bishop h3, bishop f4. Take that rook as well. Yummy. With check. With check. e4 looks tempting. Actually, somehow I didn't consider that. Okay, it's not the end of the world just yet, unless he plays bishop d4 and queen almost mating. Can I just double the rooks? Oh, he's got bishop takes. What am I doing? He's got bishop takes. Okay. Okay. Try and think. Yeah, bishop takes. I'm starting to mess things up. Right now it's okay, I think, because of queen g4. For example, king d3, queen c4 is mate. So queen g4 threatens. Thanks for the game, Pesho. Yeah, I think I played some inaccuracies there. Sebi. Okay, so Sebi, 1996. Let's see, if e5, I'll play Magnus Carlsen's c4 and g4 stuff, because by transposition I saw this game the other day. In Blitz, he played c4 and g4 against with the e5. Right. Now I had some regret against Jim the other day about not getting this bishop. I can do it here because he hasn't played h6. This might actually be a way of getting a small advantage. Knight h4. I'm going to go for that. Do I even need to take immediately? It's been a bit too subtle to not take immediately, isn't it? Or is it? Maybe it's the way to do it. Is there any advantage of not taking immediately? I could wait for his bishop deployment to not target h2. Let's see where his bishop's going. Bishop h5, there's g4. Knight g4, hg protects the knight. Or if he moves the knight, trying to hit the knight. Knight g6 there. I'm going to fianchetto this bishop. I can take that bishop off, fianchetto this one. You can try and play in castle queenside or something. There was a game once, Magnus Carlsen against Gelfand, where Gelfand castled queenside against this kind of thing and almost got a promising attack. That's interesting, as if I've provoked this instead of a bishop move. Surely that's not entirely in black's favour. The light squares here, I don't think compensate for the dark squares, do they? With this fianchetted bishop, I'm hoping to cover a few liabilities in the position, but maybe I can break down the light squares. Queen b3 and c4. What about bishop a3? Bishop a3. If he took, I'm still protecting the bishop. It's a move, I think. This ending, bishop against knight, I'm hoping he'll have some light square targets. Well, is he going to castle queenside? I'm just going to double the rooks. I'm hoping my attack's faster. I'll have c4 to try and wrench open the bishop. So let's see, castles queenside. Okay, this is fun. I'm hoping it's going to be more fun for me than him. Let's see. So we're in the pirate scenario of firing at each other's ships. Okay, opposite side castling, pirate scenario. This pawn sack, I'm hoping, helps me more than him. If he takes rook c1, knight b6, queen c5, knight d5, bishop d5. No, mate. No. Let's recalculate. D takes. Okay, let's not. Knight g4 is immediately threatened. Knight g4 is immediately threatened. So what about f4? Trying to shut that down. e3 is weak. CD here, does he really play knight d5? Maybe he does. Does it matter? I think rook b3 is attack and defense, e3 and doubling rooks, attack and defense. Attack and defense, queen a6 is also threatened. Maybe I could have considered that. Doubling rook seems logical. Keeping the queen on a4 seems... I don't want a queen exchange here. So I double the rooks. What is he threatening? Knight d2. He's not threatening knight d2. I got rook b7. I'm threatening rook b6 and queen a6 here. Rook b6. Has he got knight c3, rook d6, rook d7? Has he got... Where does his queen go? Queen a6 for... Queen a6 for rook b7 after. What about taking this knight off? Let's imagine queen c7. Do I take this knight off before it's dangerous? It doesn't take with the queen. Well, it might do the perpetual. What's wrong with queen a6 here? Yes. I don't want him around my king particularly. But after knight c3, it gets a bit nasty. There's rook a6 here. That's better than queen a6 because it promises rook a8. So knight c3, there's at minimum, well, check. King c7, rook c1 pinning as queen e3. What about rook e1 there? Then he takes my queen. Queen c2, queen b3. Okay. Okay. There's queen a5 there. There's queen a5 check there. Knight c3 check. Queen a5 check. Knight c3, rook a8, king c7, queen a5 hits c3. My rook's hanging at the end of it, but at least there's no perpetual check with queen e3. Get rid of that knight. Let's have a quick look again. King moves where? c8, I play rook a8. Where does it move? King d6. Queen takes, rook takes a8. It's too dangerous for him, surely. This is too dangerous. There's rook b6 here. There's takes queen a6. This rook e6 should be good just to win the queen simply. Queen b6 is mate. Alright, thanks for the game, Tibby. That was interesting. Son of Sorrow, Sauce. Okay. Knight e5 and f4. This should be okay. It's not good for him to give up the dark square bishop here. He's got these pawns on light squares. needing dark square attention on the adjacent squares. So I don't think it's strategically good to take there. There's rook h3, crude London system, not London system, Stonewall attack template plan, rook h3, g4, g5 here. This looks very comfortable. Also knight c6 was winning a piece, still winning a piece. There's no queen e7 or queen a5. Yeah, this weakness of the last move, that's c6. Looks as though that's winning a piece. It's a technicality, which I don't like to necessarily veer away from my plan, but it's worthwhile, I think, winning a piece here. The knight can come back to c2. Yeah, I don't know how black's saving that piece. Loose pieces fall off is a famous quotation. I think John Nunn had something on that as well. That loose piece has fallen off. Oh, that was a quick one. Thanks for the game. Okay, Brooklyn Bobby. Okay, the tango. So in centre of the woman, you can tango on if you make a mistake, apparently, according to Abugino. Just tango on if you make a mistake. But here, now, the knight's tango is quite popular in recent years. It looks as though this way is not as bad as usual for white. Instead of just giving me all the dark squares on the plate, this h4 is causing me a bit of a problem sometimes. So it's not as easy, this position, as it could have been. a5, a4 and b4 looks very tempting, just to welcome this exchange. a4, b4, ab, queen, bishop, queen b4, bishop b4. a4, bishop a2, b4 looks quite crunching in a way. a4 is winning a piece here. That's a weakness of the last move in that it's interrupted the diagonal. In terms of the position, it's a weakness of the last move. It's interrupted that diagonal. You can look at, when you look at a weakness of the last move, it's not just the squares, it's the connections and interruptions implied. Thanks very much, Brooklyn Bobby. Magic Benny. Magic Benny. Okay. I'm concerned if d takes. Oh, he's going to play d takes. Can I get the queens off? This might be better than maybe my king has c7, like a sort of Berlin dreaded defense. Queen's coming off, variation. This looks as though I'm under pressure. I guess I want to play a5 and bishop a6. I don't know, actually. Maybe f5 is coming. Maybe this is active without too much. Is it? Maybe he's just going to sack a piece if I play b5. It's possible. My king looks too exposed. That's possible because I can't evaluate that position. So these two pawns, probably another pawn's dropping off somewhere. I could instead just try and connect my pieces and not play b5. It's kind of asking for bishop takes. Can I do this? Just to try and double the pawns. Maybe I can take and then b5. I just ruled out the bishop sack, I hope. Bishop doesn't go back there because of a4. I have to protect d7. There's bishop c5. This could be dangerous. Except there's knight f4 and there's bishop d6 check. That's possible. Bishop c5. Can I play this? Okay, can I play e5 here? Yeah, knight f4. I just want to rob him of the dark squared bishop. If that loses the pawn, I get the e5 square anyway. Even if it loses the pawn of it ultimately. That e5 square could be very nice for my knight. f7 to e5. I can't ever play bishop a6 at the moment because of that d7 until I play this. He's not trapping my knight yet. I think there's knight h5 on g3. So I'm wondering about bishop a6. On rook d8 there might be knight d5 interrupting. Ed, king takes, d takes, king c7. Aha. Can I play bishop a6 here? Oh, he's going to take and then knight e6. Okay. Probably need to keep my bishop around then. What about g6? On knight f7? Because if whoever takes and then bishop e6, I got knight e5. Whoever takes on f7, I think I'd welcome that. I suspect that should be welcomed. So I'm hoping for taking knight e6, taking knight e5 after, where I'd safeguard d7. G5 help? Threaten taking without losing f4. If he took here, he's opening up my bishop. Okay. Can't I just... I'm going to be losing a piece to rook d7. And rook d7 looks diabolical as well. Knight d8. Check. Check. That looks terrible. Doesn't look good. Didn't cover d7 in time. Play 94. No, you can check and take then e7. You can do that anyway. He was queening. Yes, it's gone, isn't it? Can't win them all. Okay, well played, well played. It was a very unpleasant game. Okay, yeah. Okay. Well played, very well played though. Well, by the way, that was really timely infiltration when I wasn't ready for it. Pass pawn, very instructive. Let's try and safeguard d4 a bit here against bishop g4. This looks okay, this position. I think if he plays f5, whoa, I think it still looks okay if I play queen d2 now. As long as I'm not letting knight c4, if I can castle queenside, would I be getting hacked to death if I castle queenside? Or not? Can I? Oh, a4 looks very tempting. I don't know. That's ruling out castling queen, so I'm just thinking, well, like my queenside pressure looks potentially worth pursuing here. b4 and knight c5. Oh no, I'm not even castling. Yeah. Well, there is a check. That could be a snag. Knight d2. What about knight d2 there? Knight d2 around here. Am I threatening? Well, if f4 knight e4, if he takes, if queen takes bishop c4, if he takes here, well, I can do bishop b6 maybe, or bishop c5. This pass pawn in the center looks tempting. For bishop c4 and then finally castle. Knight b6 looks fun. Holding d5. Let's stop e4, maybe with bishop d3 to e4, or f3. Well, the immediate rook c2, bishop f5, rook c7 looks tempting as well. So if I play yeah. This is very late castling in the day, isn't it? Bishop e2 and castle. Bishop e2 also implies bishop g4. Try and get rid of the bishop pair. Bishop e2 to g4. This bishop d8 business. It's a bit of a concern. If I play this for knight c4. Alright, bishop c4 here. Oh, there's a check and oh, gold. I'd prefer this because it looks as though I've got compensation for the exchange. With d6. Those pawns look pretty good. Maybe c6 immediately threatens c7 anyway. c7. If I get to play d6, e3, fe, d6, e2, bishop e2, d7. I think the pass pawns are pretty strong here. And it's blockade with the king. Threaten knight c4. Knight c4 anyway for d6 here. Right, there's knight b6. Bishop a2, knight d7, bishop c4, king e1. This is check anyway. So d7 looks, or bishop e6, then d7 looks crushing. Yeah, thanks for the game, Joanne. Okay. Molly, Ali. Okay. Maybe I should play a bit more solid actually instead of the tango here. Slav. Okay. Is he ready? I'm going to pull that. More gambit. More gambit. He's missed out the Smith. Smith more gambit. I've got a nice disgusting soy milk based coffee here because my brother started getting soy milk, and I I did notice the other day I had good results in the morning though, so it doesn't seem to adversely affect the Blitz chess, but it is quite vile. It does take quite getting used to soy milk, but apparently it's got B vitamins anyway. So anyone ready here? Okay, going through this challenge queue quite rapidly here today. Does any of you have disgusting vile soy milk? I'm still getting used to it. I'm new to it. Well, what's happened to you guys? Anyone have we got a technological issue? No one's expecting to be paired up with me that so rapidly. Took you all by surprise here. That I've reached this point in the queue. Always blame the mouse. Yes, especially in bullet chess. I'd recommend a G-Claw mouse if you want to play bullet chess with fiber into that. And okay. Oh man, what's happening here? What's happening? Is it my end? Have I done something wrong? I don't know. No, we got to move. We got a game. We got a game. Oh yeah, I'm going to hack him to death if he castles with h5. But he's not. He's studied my games. Oh man, he's not castling. The disappointment of it. Oh dear. The disappointment. Oh, so play a normal move, I'll castle. So, what do we have here? What are the imbalances out of the opening, as someone might ask? Well, I could potentially be using the dark squares later. The bishop seems quite a good piece. Knight g6 seems as though that knight's quite naughty, potentially. Well, especially after e4. He's actually improved this one and this one. With e4, the bishop's happier, the knight's happier. I think h5 might even be justified here for h4, because the knight's not on f3 to stop that. I can undermine the pawn chain. I can threaten knight takes h4 here for queen h4, which is on h2 and f2. So knight takes h4 looks crushing, actually. Knight takes h4 looks absolutely crushing. Yes. In fact, I can't see a move for white. Okay, is d4 a move? Really? Okay, maybe it is. The thing is, even though my bishop's not on f2 here, if the rook ever moves, there's queen takes f2. So it's, you know, for a knight to sack for 3 pawns, it's probably worth a punt here, in Blitz especially. Probably worth a punt, because in Blitz, you know, the initiative and creating threats. And, yeah. Okay, I can take on g2 now. Take on e5. Let's keep the queens on And bishop g4 to f3 looks tasty. And if any f3, well, maybe it's not as deadly as I imagined earlier anyway. Oh, f3 is not possible now. That rook's weakness of the last move, it was supporting f3. Now we have bishop f3 on the cards. With possibly knight g4 to follow. Bishop f3 is the immediate threat. To win the exchange on h1, so bishop f3 needs to be parried. How? Right. I'm thinking of g5 here now. Okay, wasn't that strong, was it? G5? Okay, thanks. Anyway, yeah, it looks maybe white's in a passive position. Okay, I'm playing croup. I'm going to try and pronounce it croup rather than another way I could have, maybe. So, croup. Okay. Now we have this story from an earlier game. There's two ways of trying to maybe exploit this, but I think the GM way is not to play for b7, because basically queen b3, queen b6 is a pain. You don't really want to give black the a file, and you don't want to play c5 because later queen c7 and black plays e5, e takes, and basically what they've done is brought your pawn chain forward, so d4 is weaker later to say bishop e7 f6. I'm hoping you can follow that. Put that in half speed if you replay this after, but I've seen that plan over and over again from like Magnus Carlsen. So the other way is just to try and exploit the bishop here, which I'm going to do. Yeah, I think taking or g3. g3 is provoking bishop h5. Maybe this is the point I could just, I don't know, just take it. I'll just take it. So the point here is, as far as I can tell, I might be weaker on the dark squares, e.g. rook h or bishop g3 immediately, but I've just fallen into rook h2 here. What a moron. I've just fallen into rook h2, which he's played. Okay, king f2 might be okay, unless I'm getting hacked to death. Bishop g3 could be a good test. Knight h5, king h2, knight e4, knight e4. Protects g5 against queen g5. That's queen, now knight e4. Sorry, bishop g3, king takes, knight e4 might be mating, because knight takes, queen h4 is mating. That's fascinating. Okay. Maybe what I've seen is true, maybe it isn't. I don't know. If it was true that bishop g3 it was a forced mate, that's interesting to know about anyway. All right, it might be fictional. I don't know. I'm saying these variations, but they're just best guesses. They're not absolute certainty. Oh dear. It's queen h8, queen g7. Is this a counter attack? Does he play queen f8? Oh man. Oh dear, what a start to the game. What a start. Oh boy. Okay. Obviously I've got a bit of compensation for the pawn now. Well, I'm hoping I've got a compensation for the pawn now. This king on f2 is making me laugh. My own king's making me laugh here on f2. This isn't what I had in mind from the opening. So yeah, I've misplayed the opening, but okay. Let's. Oh, the bunny ears are somewhere. Bishop d2. He's threatening knight e4. I can see that. He's threatening knight e4, winning the queen. There's not even a king g3 there. It's that cruel. Okay, that's the cruelty of it. Want an exchange of queens? We'll have an exchange of queens, okay? I just don't want to lose my queen. Let's play for b5 here. Minority attack, a pawn down. I've got the light square bishop trump card. So I'm banking on this to be enough compensation. Bishop d2, rook b1. Maybe g5 later, f4, e4. Try and break down this diagonal. So rook b1, g5 now. Maybe. It's weak, that pawn. Maybe this is more prudent. Might be threatening knight takes and c6. Alright, this looks logical to follow up on the queenside play. Threatening takes and rook b7. Knight e2 might be safe-ish, as in relatively safe-ish. Takes on rook b7. Would threaten g5, winning d7. He just plays rook b8. He hasn't got an infiltration on b2. I could take on a7 there. Alright, g5 might be the right time for g5 here. So if it takes with knight h5, f4. Here I'm going to snap that knight off. More torture over here then. I'll take this first. What about rook b7? Is that possible? That g5 is dropping off. So what do I do? Defend with rook g1? That doesn't seem appetizing. But while there's no entry point on the queen side, rook g1 might be a good idea for knight f4, knight h3, and then back to rook b1 later. On the other hand, I'm thinking here, I was thinking of a knight sack for two connected pass pawns, but it's not going to happen because he just takes on f3 later. So probably I need to cling on to g5, unfortunately. That's not happening either. Back to the other plan I just mentioned, two connected pass pawns here. Maybe with bishop takes d5. Or rook takes and then knight takes d5. Well, I could try and play a bit more. I'm not amused. I'm not amused by my play here. Okay. I'm getting stomped over. To get this pass pawn that I mentioned. Well, I mentioned the possibility. I'm giving him 2 pass pawns in the process. So that one's even dropping off. Isn't that wonderful? So he's got 2 pass. I can only just don't know. It's gone, isn't it? It's a bit loud, isn't it? Pre-move time. Well played. That was a disaster game. Oh, I tried to go over something now, but it probably cost a lot of time. Anyway, well played, guys, today. That was very well played. Okay, well played. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed it. 1 fun, 10 boring. I just had a rating crash there at the end. Okay, as well. So, okay, but no, it was so well played after and timely as well. So well played. Okay, if you want to vote or like the video up, that'd be cool when it goes up later. And have a good Sunday. And the Wimbledon tennis is on, I think, for a bit. Check that out on the BBC. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Okay. See you then. See you next time. Thanks so much.